Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about fishing rods and why they don't belong on bedrock. Because I see every practice server do this for some fucking reason. I saw Cube try to do this like a year ago. For some bizarre reason, fishing rods aren't good for PvP on bedrock because they're slow and janky. And then servers implement them and make them slower and jankier. Like, if I could get into a duel. You know what? Build UHC. Apparently this is where everyone is. And there's a fishing rod. Like, if you hit the ground, it just stays on the ground for some fucking reason. Like, when they work, they're fine, but the problem is that they're still janky. Like, if they hit the ground on the server, they just stop working. Until you uncast it. Doesn't matter. Like, okay, I know it. I've seen it be doing fine with the fishing rod, but that's because this guy's awful. I guarantee you, as soon as it hits the ground, it's just not gonna work. Like right there. Or right there, how the rod was really delayed for no fucking reason. Like, rods do not belong on this server. They don't belong on Bedrock. It makes sense on 1.8 because they actually work properly. But then servers like this try to make... Hold on. I'm gonna see if anyone will queue in the raft. Because... snowballs work fine on here. They're not janky at all. Like, they're perfectly okay. And it's the case with every server that tries implementing rods, but also has snowballs available. Like, see how less janky these are in comparison to fishing rods on here? Not a very good example because, you know, they're all broken. But every single time a server has implemented fishing rods onto Bedrock PvP, it doesn't work very well. Quite simply because it just doesn't fucking work. Like, rods were not made for that on this fucking version. They weren't made for it on Java either, but they actually work properly on Java. And I'm talking about 1.8. Like, I get you're trying to emulate Java 1.8 PvP. This isn't Java PvP. This is Bedrock PvP. Put a snowball, give me an illegal stack of 64 and let me stick in slot 9. And it will work infinitely better than a fishing rod. Just ignoring how this guy See, like, how does this fucking shit happen? Like, it touches the ground and it's not fucking working. Like, fishing rods very clearly do not work properly on this fucking version of the game. Like, ignoring my obvious fucking lack of skill on this fucking server with a fishing rod, because there is no skill involved. Like, let me put up Lunar real quick and get on 1.8. Because there's going to be a very clear difference. One is going to be like snappy and actually, you know, make sense. The other will not make sense. Whenever it boots up. Because I am recording and I have Bedrock open. Never mind. Alright. This is going to be annoying. But notice how when it hits the ground, it still lets you draw it back. But rods on here actually makes sense, ignoring my obvious. Well, I've been desensitized by fishing rods on Zeka. Because they're awful, it's slow, and, you know, very janky. Rods on here actually feel fine to play with. It's just annoying. I'm so used to rods on fucking Zeka. Like, fucking Christ. Like, they're just awful. Like, on 1.8, they're annoying. Eat my ass. Fucking annoying fuckboy. But you come back over here and like go into any ride mode and it's completely fucking awful. Like the whole point of the fishing rod is so you can like infinitely fucking do it via, you know, switching off of your hotkey when pulling it back. but then it doesn't do that on here. So you know it's not unlimited. And you know, there's nothing like vibe tricking, so there's no nuance in how you should actually move if you want crits. Well, I just don't belong anywhere near bedrock. If you need a projectile for your server, please use snowballs or eggs, because they are significantly less janky, make more sense, and you don't even need to do anything. They'll work just fine. Because they work just fine on bedrock. Go into the, like just a regular world. You know, I'll create this one just from scratch. Whenever. Bedrock is not a very good game. Like, Bedrock itself is kind of janky and shit. I know this is probably partially why. But, alright, give me a fishing rod. Give me snowballs. No, they're not janky at all. What the fuck? Why did you try making a change to fishing rods? They work just fine. To make them go further? Yeah, what the fuck is Zeka doing then? But still, these don't belong anywhere near PvP. Because you'll pull people. Like, technically, infinite rodding does work on vanilla. Let me get this into a better slot to demonstrate. Like, this is technically a thing that, you know, works. Yeah, what the fuck is Zeka doing? Like, this works fine. Why was so hard about using vanilla fishing rods? Because this does the same job. What the fuck is Zeka doing? I'm trying to think whoever made the fishing rods on Zeka legitimately has fucking brain damage. Because they made a change to them that they didn't really need to make, and they're janky, horrible, and not very good. Yeah, it just feels like 1.8 rods. So, what the fuck is Zeka doing then? They could just use vanilla fishing rods. Oh wait, so you don't actually pull anything, ain't it? If I could... So you don't do that, ain't it? But then that would mean there would be a skill curve that most players apparently can't do, because doing this is hard. You know, doing this is really difficult. Yeah, it is difficult. I wonder why they took out the wheeling function, because one, I could also just make things infinitely, you know, like harder to use a fishing rod. Like it would actually take a level of skill to be able to use it properly, or you could put someone in for spamming it too fucking much. Like, the nuance in that could do so much for Bedrock PvP, but instead we get Zeka, and most servers for that matter, using fishing rods, and make it so you can't really pull anyone in, and then there's no nuance in it. Cube has fishing rods, and they work like they do in 1.8, in anything that isn't duels. In duels, they just work like they do in modern Java, where they don't really interact with anything but water. Like, they don't deal with knockback. I think the server just needs to get shut down. Zeka is not a good server. But still. Zeka, just use vanilla rods. It's not that hard. You didn't need someone to recode. You didn't need someone to reinvent the wheel. The wheel worked just fine. Better yet, just use snowballs, because you don't know how to make fishing rods. No one on Bedrock knows how to make fishing rods. If I ever make a server involving PvP, I'm just going to use vanilla fishing rods and snowballs. Because one will actually require a level of skill and the other will just be easier to use. On here, they don't take that much skill and they're kind of awful. Vanilla Bedrock fishing rods are actually fine. Servers don't seem to know how to fucking make them not shit, though. Cause you can't have your players accidentally wheel each other in instead of just, you know, having them switch between two different slots, which is how it is on Java. Because, you know, Java fishing rods actually take a monochrome skill to use, ignoring all the fucking, you know, spamming of it. Hell, the fucking infinite rod thing's fucking stupid. That's easy to patch out. Like, it's not that hard to patch out. But you don't need to patch out the wheeling thing, or like wheeling in players, because that's stupid. This server as a whole is just fucking stupid. It needs to get shut the fuck down.